Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is Coffee Ann here on ON, AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. It's Labor Day, Monday, September 4th in the year 2023. Thanks for joining us live on this Labor Day Monday. We didn't tape this one ahead of time, so we decided to do it live. So nice and easy that way. This is Joe Callahan. Thanks for joining us. Melissa Murray's here. Hello there, Melissa.
Good morning, everyone.
And we'll also be joined by our Romeo Berthium. Good morning to you, Romeo.
Good morning, Joe.
Dave
Morning,
is here. I don't know why. Why are you here, Dave?
Well, it's like this. I mean,
Just
until
joshing
Bob
around.
and Nancy, I'm going to just bounce back and forth between Bob's seat and Nancy's seat. Make sure they're nice and warm.
All right.
So when they get here, they'll feel loved because we love them.
All righty then. And they're coming in around 8:30
I also
this
get a
morning.
chance to rub elbows with the state senator. You know?
Literally, huh? All right. Now, Romeo brought in stuff about Labor Day.
Yeah, there's a couple of
He
things.
did.
Yeah.
First
Well,
of
Labor Day
all,
history.
It was exactly.
How instructional of you.
Well, why not? It was exactly 124 years ago today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, September 4th. Okay, that here in Woonsocket, they had the first Labor Day celebration on September 4th, 1899. It was a parade of wage earners. They started at the courthouse. Everybody knows where that is. And went over the Court Street Bridge and through some of the city
Which
streets.
is fairly new at the time.
Yeah, that's right. It had just been dedicated, as a matter of fact, Dave. That's good. Anyway, long story short, after the parade, they all ended up at Cold Spring Park. Everybody knows where that is.
Yeah.
In the north end of the
Oh,
city.
yeah. Grew up there.
And get this, 1899, 5,000 people showed up for this celebration at the park. And along the parade route, of course, they probably continued and got to the park. And they had all sorts of things going on there, like pie eating contests, tug of war. They had a baseball game, Joe. And the team that won 18 to 10. Okay.
Well, pitchers do
And guess what? They gave the
My
team,
kind of game.
Yeah, they gave the team a $25 prize.
to share amongst the players.
I'm not sure about that, but
25 each?
I don't think so. It was 1899. Okay.
All right.
At a 100
Look
yard.
amongst yourselves.
And they had an orchestra, the Brooks Orchestra, that entertained everybody. And Dave, it was not broadcast live on any of the local radio stations. It
Because
was
there weren't any local radio stations.
it was 1899, and that was the first one.
You got to
It was
understand, too.
yeah.
I mean, at that time, we had a population approaching 30,000.
Oh, probably,
at that
yeah.
point.
And the city was booming. It was
The city was
becoming a
right,
booming
because of the textile industry.
Correct.
And there were an awful lot of wage earners and
Right,
workers. But you also
right.
have to understand, this was a very kind of left-wing liberal sort of thing, this Labor Day thing.
Well,
it's not
yeah.
a mainstream event.
Yeah, well, no, but it's amazing how many people locally supported it, and of course that was the era.
But you had to be careful who you ticked off.
That was the era of the labor movement, you know, and there were a lot of strikes in the country, and
Soon to be a whole lot more.
Now to go back, you know, a little bit further on a national scale, the first Labor Day parade ever held in the country, according to what I researched, was in 1882, 17 years before. It was in New York City, and from that point on...
And that was a protest.
Well, yeah, in a way, but from that point on, you know, each state started passing legislation making Labor Day a state holiday. And it took until 1894, which was 5 years before the Woonsocket Parade, for the holiday to be recognized as a national holiday. 1894 was the first one. And then in 1913, you'll like this one, Melissa, the Department of Labor was created after, you know, the Labor Day. And guess who the first Secretary of Labor? I mean, let me take that back. First Secretary, I'll tell you who it was. It was a guy named Wilson, not the president. But guess who the first female cabinet member was ever, you know, appointed by a president?
First female cabinet
Yeah,
member ever
yeah.
appointed
Yeah.
by a president. I had no idea.
And by the way, the position was Secretary of Labor. Again.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, appointed by FDR, Franklin Roosevelt, in 1933. Francis Perkins. I don't know if you remember that name.
We do.
But they've had.
I do.
Okay.
You
They've
never met, right?
they've had.
met.
No.
They have had 20. I think it's 24 secretaries of labor since then, and basically that's the story. So Labor Day, of course, has now become like the end of summer, the last summer holiday. Let's have
Summertime
that.
holiday.
Yeah. Let's have that. Let's have that cookout now. The state is suspending lifeguards at all the beaches after
Well, they can't get the
today.
help. They couldn't get the help for this weekend.
That's true,
And this could very well be one of the warmest, hottest days of the summer. You know, it's
As it-
September, so everybody
As it turns out.
yeah, everybody thinks
Thursday
it's,
will be.
It's September, so it's fall. Now, September is still summer until September 22nd or 3rd.
Right.
Every year it changes.
Fall
Anyway.
and summer usually change
Yeah.
on the second weekend
Yeah.
in October.
Okay,
Astronomically, for Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Sure.
That's when you see the air masses changing and the
Well,
trends changing from summertime to
autumn.
fall.
Autumn, yeah.
And unfortunately, that's where Columbus Day is.
Why do you say unfortunately, Dave?
Because that's
Rains.
where our Autumn Fest has been now 44 times, now coming up on 45 times,
Yeah.
that we coincidentally have selected that
Yeah.
day, which is convenient for us.
Yep.
It is also about the time, give or take, that the weather patterns change from summertime
Sure.
beautiful to fall iffy.
Fall iffy. Okay, I like that. Well, you know, that's the way it is. And here in Woonsocket, they don't
But
call.
considering we didn't have a really bad summer again,
No, we didn't.
maybe a
little hot in July.
linger
A
a
little hot in
longer.
July. August is kind of nice, I think.
It was. This was not what we expect for a normal summer.
And we're at the peak of hurricane season, I think, next week. Mid-September. September 10th.
Yeah.
There's some pretty good
and-
September beach days, though.
Oh, beautiful. I
Love a
love
September
September.
beach
I
day.
love September
And
because
you don't have to pay to park in the parking lot down there because
Yeah.
they can't get the
Oh, that's
people.
true,
And the
they can't
crowds.
get the help to take your money.
And the-
And,
and-
and you can actually have fun on the beach.
yeah.
You can throw a
Well,
football
that's true.
around or
Oh.
frisbee.
Oh, people have
You
done
can
that
bring-
all summer, though. You're
But
not
the-
supposed
but
to
the-
play
but the-
ball on the beach.
Yeah, the lifeguards are there, and they have an important cause, but they're also there to stop the fun.
How do they
fun police.
enforce that? Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So,
they blow their whistles, and if you're too much of a nuisance, they call the cops on you.
Not where I am, though. Folks are always playing ball and
What beach are you going to?
Second Beach.
My daughter was just there
Yeah.
the other day.
Yep.
I don't know
it's
how her
beautiful.
friends found it. These people have no sense of direction. How in the world did you find Second Beach?
Oh,
in
but
Newport?
also before Labor
Cell
Day,
phone.
they have to pay.
Maybe. They did, she said she didn't have to pay. Although,
She must have gone after 5 o'clock.
no, she was there on a cloudy day, maybe because it was cloudy.
Maybe. It's
She
kind
goes-
of a pricey beach, but it's nice.
Well,
It's
yeah.
worth it.
Someone picked it, so anyway. All right, moving things along. Does anyone want to say anything about Jimmy Buffett? I mean, I could go the whole hour and talk about Jimmy Buffett.
yeah, I was gonna.
No.
I was gonna offer you my condolences because I know you're a
Yeah.
big fan.
Thank you, thank you. It's weird. I mean, I never met this guy, and he never met me. We had absolutely no relationship. So I always felt weird. It feels weird to feel sad that a celebrity has died that you have never met.
Well,
And,
Feel
and I
like-
always thought
Well,
it was
you
weird.
can't.
I
You-
remember being 11 and watching people crying at Elvis Presley's funeral. I said, I don't get it. You never met him.
Mm-hmm.
How can you be so distraught?
Well, separation takes many forms, Joe.
Yeah, so it just. But you know, I was not happy when Jerry Garcia died. I wasn't happy when Freddie Mercury died, and this one was just because it came so far out of left field. I just didn't see it coming. I was like, oh boy, this is awful.
you didn't see this, Jimmy Buffett, because he had been taken ill in
No,
May.
we were all
No, he-
we're all very hopeful that he had
Yeah.
some bad health that he was working his way through. He did not release to the public the
That he was
fact that
sick.
for the last 4 years he'd been suffering from a lymphoma cancer.
Yeah.
And he didn't want that to be part of his life and his talking. He probably told close members of the band and everything.
Yeah.
that he says, But he was as earlier this year. He was going in for treatments.
In May, he was at the hospital there in Boston.
Yeah, right.
And but
Cancer.
they let him out, and they said, okay. And he's still working on his health issues, so he can't perform. All right, so he's working on it. Okay. And then I saw pictures of him. I said, well, he's looking thin, but he's working through his health issues. Okay, we'll see you next summer.
I heard his band was performing in Newport this spring or early this summer, and he was at Portsmouth.
July
And-
2nd.
One of his band.
and
July
he ended
2nd,
up,
one of
coming
his
on
band
stage.
members
Yeah.
was performing
Yeah.
because they
Bert-
all had to get work. I mean,
was
you
his-
still have to eat, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not as rich as he is.
Yeah.
Or was. So one of his band members, you remember the name?
Mac McAnally.
Oh, that's right, Mac McAnally.
Yeah.
Was performing at Portsmouth,
Okay.
and Jimmy came out and said, I could spend a half an hour out there playing. What do you think? Okay, they did it.
And I could have gone, Romeo.
Yeah,
I
he
was
could have.
offered-
Why?
I was offered tickets.
It probably ended up being his last public
It
appearance.
was.
Oh my God!
It was.
And it was in Rhode Island here.
And I'm kicking myself because I should have gone. And Bob Lauder went.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
there
he's
for it.
he was Parrot Head.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is
And
Parrot
it's,
Head.
I could have gone, but I pulled the old. No, I
I'll
have
see
plenty
him.
of time. I'll see him. I'll see him next summer.
I'll see him next time. Yeah,
I'll
I
see him
know.
next time around.
I think we all
No.
have. We all have.
And what's
stuff.
ironic is
Yeah.
Mac is going to be back in Rhode Island on September 16th. He's going to be down in Westerly. And people kept speculating, oh, will Jimmy show up then too? He showed up the last time, Mac, right?
Right.
Maybe we should go to that because maybe Jimmy Buffett will show up. Well, now
I'm
he's
guessing
really not.
no.
Gonna, he's
I'm
not going to show up.
guessing no.
He's not showing up this year at all.
Oh, you're guessing? All right. Good guess.
So I'm glad Romeo's here on a completely different subject because you're the former teacher. Do you know what happened at Woonsocket High School this past
Yeah,
Friday?
there was a lockdown.
Oh, right.
A guy
And
from.
so lockdown, and they arrested a guy out in the state of Washington. Did you hear about this, Melissa?
No.
And under swatting conditions.
So what is that? That's a new term, isn't it? Swatting.
Swatting is when people. No, it's not hitting. It's when they call in
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that's going to have a large police presence. Local police come, state police come, fire departments show up, and the SWAT team shows up.
Oh, that's what it's
Which is
called.
why it's called
swatting.
swatting.
I got it
And
now.
he was away, so I don't know why, but and so people usually watch it, and it's called swatting to watch the response. So the whole school is put in lockdown, and they put elementary schools in lockdown too.
Yeah.
Not the middle school though.
Okay.
Okay, and so they arrest the guy out in Washington on this swatting charge. Okay, and they lift the lockdown. And I asked Dave last week. I said, well, if they lifted the lockdown, why were the kids from the high school sent home early?
I know why.
Well, Dave, the way Dave explained it, let's see if Dave's right.
All right.
That Dave said is because they couldn't prepare the luncheon time to feed the kids. Is that
He's
correct?
absolutely correct.
Okay,
Yep.
but they didn't dismiss early the elementary school.
Okay.
So the question back to you, Romeo, when a school's put in lockdown, and I don't know if they did this when you were there, and I know it means nobody in and nobody out, but does everything stop? Does all learning stop?
Wherever you are, you stay still. You're in a classroom, you stay there. You're not. You know what I mean?
So
If you're in a hallway, obviously
Well, get into a
they
classroom.
make you get into a classroom. But
Shelter
everything
in
stays.
Shelter in place.
Yeah.
So the cooks can't
Right.
do anything.
They-
Even though they're there in the kitchen, don't cook.
They just stay there.
Just sit there and do
Yeah,
nothing
right.
until we tell you
Yeah.
all's clear.
Now, when I was there weren't too many lockdowns. There might have
Right.
been one or
Yeah.
two in my whole career, but now they're a lot more common.
Yeah.
All the time.
But I think that's what they do. And by the way, the irony of, well, it's not an irony, it's a coincidence, is a better word. There was a lockdown at Green Airport.
That's right.
Same
Yeah,
day.
Same day.
And I was there the day before. Luckily, I dodged a lot of bullets this time.
Well, pun
But,
intended, huh?
yes. And it had nothing to do with the lockdown
Yeah.
at the high school.
Right.
And
It's
I
something else.
and I you know, just a guy that they said a guy with a rifle.
Rifle was on the roof. Yeah.
And you know, the guy that they got in Washington State apparently had some affiliation with Woonsocket High School. He may have been a graduate, or he may have attended at one time.
Oh, really?
So, why would he have picked that school? I mean,
It has something to do with the
again,
student there.
That's speculation.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is they got him, and he caused a lot of havoc,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's sad. But anyway, a sign of the time.
But there was enough time
Yeah.
for the cooks at the elementary schools
Yeah.
to keep cooking to serve lunch.
Yeah. Well, they didn't
Lunch
apparently.
is a later time.
Yeah,
Is
but the
lunch a later
lockdown-
time?
It is later.
Yeah.
Even though they spread it to the elementary level, I think the lockdown was strictly meant for the high school, and that's probably why they continued at the elementary level. I'm not sure. I don't know why they didn't, why they exempted the middle school. I have no idea. But if
Location?
you're
I don't
gonna, yeah. I understand even the people at High Street, the administrative branch of the education department, they were locked down as well. That's what I had heard. I think they
Really?
were. I'm not
All right.
sure. But anyway,
Well, maybe they could look into this and, okay, yeah, we're locked down, nobody in or out, but if you still got work to do, keep
Yeah.
doing it.
yeah, is there a way they can prevent these from happening in the future? Does this give
Well, I don't know.
Does this give ideas to some people? This is what scares me. And also the cooks. What happened to all that food?
Throw it away.
I mean, 2.5 hours before lunch, you're already cooking, man. What do you do with all that
You
stuff?
can't refreeze it.
And and you feel so bad for the people that are out
It's-
there
it's half
starving.
cooked,
Yeah,
and
I
we'll
know.
throw it away.
Yeah, that's probably what they did. I think the locals handled it very well.
Yes.
What else could he do? But, and that would be Dr. McGee and his staff. So, anyway,
All right, so
Yep.
so that was the only reason the high school kids were sent home early is because the food
That's
couldn't
wh-
be prepared in time
yeah,
to be
which
served at lunch.
leads to a whole other topic. Is that what schools do now? Of course they do. They feed people. They feed their
Yes.
students.
Yeah.
They bus them. They do so many things other than
but
instruct.
do they
but
feed breakfast at the high school?
I think they do.
Yes.
Yeah, they did when I was there. Not the teachers.
They should have fed. They should have had. Well, we got leftover
All-
breakfast items. There's lunch today.
Although I know some teachers who snuck down there and grabbed a couple of things
Nah.
during the free breakfast. No, just kidding.
For many kids, that's
yeah.
the only meal
Yeah.
they get.
That's
All
true.
right.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Too
And-
many, like,
And, I hate that happens.
yeah.
Yeah, what do they do in the summer, Melissa?
So
They go to the
yeah,
parks, huh?
It's,
They go to the
they go
parks
with the
and get
parks, and you can get
I
free
know.
lunch
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and they
Yeah,
do,
it's,
and I don't blame
Many
them.
kids go without in the summer.
And you
and
feel bad
that's why.
for
Yeah.
them. I agree with that completely. I was just teasing about what's the role of schools. Schools do a lot more than instruct.
They sure do.
They do
Yes.
all sorts of things.
Are
They're
we-
like in loco parentis. Do you like that term? They
Very
serve.
good.
Yeah. Well, it's no, but that's when they go to school, the school teachers and the officials there, the people that work in schools, they take the role of the parents. They take over.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Yeah.
We can take a break here on the Coffee and program. More coming your way, so don't go anywhere.
Hi, this is Frank Richard of the Eston & Richard Insurance Agency. In Northern Rhode Island and nearby Massachusetts, Eston & Richard continues to be the premier insurance agency for multiple family homes, whether owner-occupied or not. If you have updated your roof, heating, and electrical systems in the past 20 years, you should call us for a quote. We work with many insurance companies because we are an independent insurance agency. We also provide excellent programs for condominium associations as well as for individual condo unit owners. No matter what your insurance needs, we have the ability and the experience to solve your problems. We work each day to develop better insurance coverage plans and still save money for our customers. That's because we constantly research the insurance industry for new and more competitive products for our clients. Don't settle for an insurance company that takes you for granted. Call Eston & Richard Insurance at 766-4200. We have been serving Southern New England clients for many years. Our biggest source of new clients comes from referrals by our current customers. Eston & Richard is your full-service insurance agency. If you need coverage for your autos, home, or business, please call us today at 766-4200.
Hi, my name is Marie. I'm chairperson for the St. Agatha's Annual Yard Sale, which is on 34 Joffrey Avenue in Woonsocket. It's actually in the Church Hall in the back on Fairfield Avenue. It is on September 8th and September 9th, which is Friday and Saturday, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Items include housewares, linens, books, small appliances, holiday, electronics, tools, religious items, baby, toys, and a new make and offer section. We're hoping you can come and bring a friend.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England. It is Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. It is Labor Day 2023. Melissa Murray is here. We're being joined at the coffee table by Nancy Phillips. Hi, Nancy.
Good morning.
And her husband, that guy, Bob.
What's his name?
Good old what's his name?
Good morning, Joe.
Nancy's husband. All right. And he was also state rep. And Romeo is here as well. Hi there, Romeo. And we were just talking about the swatting incident that took place at the high school.
Yep.
And now you guys both substitute teach.
I do.
You
right
do.
now. She's
Most
only,
of the time, no.
They kicked you out now? Oh, okay.
No.
Now, what
she's,
school?
She's busy volunteering.
That's
again.
right. So what school were you at when this took place?
I'm at Villanova Middle School.
Oh, so this didn't affect you?
It
And
did.
Did they lock? I hear they didn't lock down the
No,
middle
we
schools.
did. No, we didn't lock down. We
What
were
did you do?
in a shelter-in-place, which
What's the
means
difference?
that teaching can still go on, just no one outside. Everybody
in.
stays in the building, which makes common sense, and everything went along as normal.
Okay. So the cooks could keep cooking.
Cooks can keep cooking.
So since it was a lockdown, no cooks could cook at the high school.
That's correct.
But what about the middle? What about the elementary schools?
Their food comes from a main building, so that's a good question because Pothier
It's
was
cooked
in,
someplace else.
right,
It's
but
cooked
Pothier was
someplace
in lockdown, so
All elementary schools. Food comes
Yes.
from
They
someplace
cook,
else.
Pothier.
they cook at a couple of different schools, and I'm not sure which schools
When
they
I
cook at.
when I was
wasn't
teaching,
aware of that,
when I
okay.
was teaching, I think most of the food was cooked at the high school. That's probably changed.
And then shipped to the elementary
Right.
schools.
Yes.
and then Pothier
Oh.
was built probably.
Yeah, and that's where
and
they cook
That's
now.
where the elementary
Yep.
schools get their food from.
That explains a lot.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No, kind of makes sense. But do you think with you can give an opinion or not? Should they still be able to cook at the high school if there's a lockdown
No.
going on?
No.
It can't move.
If it's a lockdown, you're not supposed to move. You're supposed to be
Literally
out of the
not
way, literally out of the way, trying to find a spot that you would be safest in.
Okay.
And if you're in the kitchen cooking, moving around in that, and you're making noises, if there was an intruder, they're going to listen to the noise and they're going to go to that area there. Why would you want to put yourself in danger?
Okay. All right. No, it all makes sense. How long was the lockdown on for? I didn't catch that. Was it an hour? Was it 2 hours?
Between an hour and two, I'm not sure exactly
Okay.
because they didn't give us all the information, but we were in shelter in place for about an hour or so.
Okay. And it still just worked out where there wasn't enough time to prepare lunch at the high school.
True, and and one of the other things is, you know, the police department and that is going all over the place. You don't want people outside, and you got cruises going by. Now you have the other middle school, Hamlet, which is right on Hamlet Avenue. That if some of the students were outside and the cruises are going by, you don't want anybody getting into an accident or anything.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, thanks for the updated information. The stuff, you learn stuff every day. I didn't know they didn't cook the food at the elementary schools or and the
Right.
foods are shipped into them. They
Yes.
just heat it up, I guess.
They
huh?
just keep it warm
keep it warm and then we
heated.
serve it. All right. All right, Nancy and Bob, did you want to say any thoughts on Jimmy Buffett? Since
I was
did it
surprised.
affect you at all?
Yeah.
Just surprised? Okay.
my sister is a definite parrot head.
Oh, good
so
for her.
She's probably in
Morning?
a little bit of mourning right now, yeah, because she's gone to probably at least a half dozen of his concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
In
and
fact, what was that? You can say it.
once upon a time, they owned a restaurant down in Punta Gorda, Florida, and it was called the Parrot Head Cafe.
Did he get sued?
Punta Gorda?
Nope.
Really?
No?
No,
Okay.
they played all Jimmy Buffett music.
All right.
Really?
Yes.
That's where I go. That's where I
Yeah.
actually live in the winter, Punta Gorda. I never.
Many-
How long ago is this?
20, 25 years ago now.
Okay. I was. You said you've attended about a half a dozen.
No,
No,
my
his
sister
sister.
did.
Yeah, your sister. I'm sorry.
Yep.
How many have you attended, Joe?
Oh, about 10. I would say.
He's a real parrot head.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, no more. Well,
Well, when you do your next show,
Well,
yeah.
you can see the
Or
tribute
did-
shows.
all Jimmy's.
oh, I know.
Yeah.
You can go. It's the beauty of the internet. Some people say, "Oh, the
Wow.
internet's awful," but the beauty of the internet is you can go and catch shows of anybody you've ever thought of.
Yep.
There's a video somewhere
On YouTube.
of on YouTube of what you want to see, and it's probably going to be for free.
Yeah.
So there's always that, and so yay.
And if you have Sirius XM radio, they have
Radio Margarita.
Margaritaville radio station.
And I was actually talking to my brother who does have that, and he goes, it was tough to listen because when they weren't playing the songs, when the DJs were trying to talk, they were crying.
Right.
They were really.
Yeah, they were taking it to pretty hard,
I can see that.
especially on Saturday. So the only problem with Radio Margaritaville is, and I'm sure it was different on Saturday, was they don't play Jimmy Buffett all the time, 24
Right.
hours. They only play Jimmy. They called it the Buffett Buffet. They would play it from 12 to 1, and then do it again like from 5 to 6.
Okay.
1 hour, all Jimmy, and then after that they go and play like the Beach Boys.
Okay.
Or and other beach-related type
Right.
theme
Don't,
music. Kenny Chesney and Zach Brown.
No, they don't play other artists that may be singing a Jimmy Buffett.
They would do
radio
that. They would do
song.
cover songs. Okay, so and so is going to play Margaritaville.
You know, I
yeah,
think,
they would play that too.
I think they all do that. There's a Sinatra channel. Now he'll play for an hour, and then
Right.
you'll get people like Nat King Cole and Barbara Streisand. You know, all those people in that genre. They'll have a lot of that. So I think they all do that. I think it'd be kind of hard to. I mean, not hard. They could do it, but I think people after a while would ask for that variety. Just my opinion. But the great Jimmy Buffett is an exception to that. At least he will be for a while.
Well, they asked one of his guitar players was playing somewhere, I think in New York,
Yeah.
and over the weekend, and someone asked him, "What are the plans for the band? Do you plan to keep on playing?" And he said, "Well, right now, it's kind of early.
That's a good question.
But they're all very good friends, and they all like playing together." He goes, "I can see us still playing together."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. Who sings?"
Yeah.
Right.
It's not like when Jerry Garcia died for the Grateful Dead. Jerry sang most of the songs, but other people sang in the band. Bob Weir sang other songs. So when Dead and Company went out, okay, Bob sang.
They had an old.
I can't see anyone in the band that would I mean, they can all sing,
Right.
but people went to see Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band, but they went to go see him. Yeah, the band's nice, and they're really talented, and we're glad to see everybody's there.
Well, you
but
know-
we're really seeing to see him.
They'll probably get someone who's not even in the band to, sing if they can find someone. Yeah, and it'll be probably called the Jimmy Buffett Band, just like the Glenn Miller Orchestra. You know what I mean? He's dead,
But will that?
yeah.
But then, will they come and play Great Woods in Mansfield? Will they get it? Will they sell enough tickets?
Probably
or
not.
all the way in,
Sell out,
or
yeah.
sell out,
Probably
or
not.
or are we going to see them at the Stadium Theater?
Yeah.
Because we can only sell 1,500 tickets.
Right.
No, I think you're right.
I
you're
don't
on
know
the-
what that problem
I
is.
think you're on the mark.
So I don't know.
See?
It's
Cool.
been done before.
As
AC/DC,
yeah.
their lead singer died. They brought in another lead singer, and they did fine.
As a big fan, would you go see them at Greatwood?
I think
If
it would
they-
depend on
yeah.
who is singing.
Yeah.
Who did you find
Yeah.
to sing his songs? The problem is no one's going to be him.
No.
Right.
fuck.
And and like your sister saw him 6 times. I saw him close to 10, and I mentioned it during the show. I said I've never seen anyone have more fun on stage ever than him,
Yep.
and no one's going to have that kind of personality. So I don't know if I'd go.
Yep.
So we'll wait and see. All right. Other things that happened over the weekend: McCoy Stadium had their final inning
Yes.
Yeah, they
yesterday,
did.
and I was wondering how many people would actually show up for this event, and I saw pictures taken on Facebook, and I would say at least, probably more, but at least 1,000 people
Yeah.
were out on the field to watch the fireworks. I'm like, great! I'm so glad people showed up for this event, because I thought Pawtucket did a pretty poor job of marketing, of reminding people this is coming, this is coming, this is coming, but that's them. And they did finally mention, like a couple days, oh yeah, don't forget, this thing is coming on tomorrow, kind of thing. And I don't know how many people were outside the stadium. People were always were outside the stadium for the
That's true.
fireworks. Anyway, up and down Exchange Street and things like that in Pawtucket. But it was nice to see, and I had to giggle because I found out someone there finally figured out how to turn on the field lights for the baseball team. I knew where they were, but no one asked me.
Were you there?
I was not there.
Okay,
No,
so they
no.
couldn't ask you.
That's right. But someone asked somebody, "Hey, how do we turn these lights on? and how do we shut them off?"
Right.
But they were on because you got to shut them off before the fireworks go off. And
Yeah.
the fireworks went off, and there wasn't a problem. So they had their big celebration for McCoy. So I'm very happy that took place for the city of Pawtucket. Now, yes,
Now the real question comes in.
well,
is
that guy, that
what the-
millionaire,
That building,
hasn't put in his proposal yet. Mayor Grabian is still waiting.
That's the question.
Well, you only got so much time before we have to. We're going to knock this place down,
Right.
and we're going to start building a high school. And if we don't hear from you, then you're just out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he's looked at it and said, "I can't. This is outrageous. I can't afford any of this." And
No, he was really late to the game. I
very
mean,
late to
like,
the
well,
game.
where were you all this time, right?
Yeah.
Where have you been all this time? Oh, no, I'm gonna, come in and swoop in and save it. Well, maybe I didn't really take a great look at, and it's not,
Cost.
not a feasible plan.
They
right?
took
But
him
I mean,
around for a tour
there
of the
was-
place inside. This is the
Yeah,
building that's
yeah.
collapsing that you want to buy.
But when that opportunity was there, he could have been there. But
It could have been. So
He
it was a big
probably
PR thing, right?
he probably
Maybe.
spoke
Spoke
out
too
of
s-
emotion
Yeah.
instead of out of
maybe.
fiscal responsible actions.
Yeah.
No, he wanted to pay whatever the rate was, whatever the plus $1 million.
The valuation.
The value of the land
yeah.
and the stadium and the land around it. So he was looking at like 1.5 million.
And then the renovations.
But the
and then
renovations are going to
where do
be
you get a team and
enormous. Yeah, so
little stuff.
it's starting to add up after a while.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's like getting a good deal on a property and then getting the tax bills, the insurance bills, and all the other
Yeah.
maintenance bills that go with it,
Yeah.
not thinking about that. Oh, I got a good deal on this, but oh
But
my
he's a
God.
businessman. He
Yeah,
should know all that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Sure.
So I don't know. All right, we're gonna take a break here on the Coffee and program. More coming your way, and we're being this weather forecast being sponsored by Compassion International.
Mostly sunny skies today with a high of 87 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 65. Tuesday's weather, mostly sunny skies with a high of 88 degrees and calm wind. Wednesday, sunshine and 88. Thursday, sunshine and 91. Friday, mostly sunny skies and 87. Saturday, a 40% chance of a shower, partial sunshine with a high of 82. And next Sunday, partly sunny and 78.
Currently outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with sunny skies, we have 74 degrees. Families in poverty are facing a global food crisis. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
At Dean Bank, their focus is on helping their customers achieve financial success. Dean Bank is a full-service bank, so they're able to deliver solutions that solve financial problems of all shapes and sizes. And as your neighbor, it's their mission to make a positive impact within the communities where they live and work. Dean Bank offers scholarships to students from participating schools, sponsor local charitable organizations, and more. Visit one of their local Blackstone Valley branches in Bellingham and Blackstone today, or find us online at deanbank.com. Dean Bank, it's my bank.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer inviting you to join me for the Saturday Block Party. It's every Saturday from 4 until 7 p.m. when we fill the airwaves with the songs you want to hear. It's a party in every sense of the word, so join me live on 99.5 and 1240 a.m. or bring the show with you wherever you go at onworldwide.com.
Coffee Ann here on ON. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Romeo Berthum and Melissa Murray. We'll also be joined by the co-marshals of the Autumn Fest celebration, which is why we asked them to come in today. Nancy and Bob Phillips. Hello there, lady
morning.
and gentlemen. How are you guys?
Good.
So the kickoff party, which is really for you guys, and the kickoff for Autumn Fest comes up on Thursday, September 14th at Savini's 476 Rathbun Street. Looking forward to it?
Yes,
Yes.
maybe.
Maybe.
I am. I've already got a list of people that are asking to go in that. So
Oh, great.
we've got I've got 2 tables put aside already for people I know.
Excellent.
Well, that's good. I'll be there with my wife. We
you.
will
Thank you.
absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Tickets are $35 per person. They are $60 per couple. You can get a table of 8 for $300. Just go to you can email to special events at autumnfest.org to get the tickets, or just to visit the Autumn Fest website as well. Now you're asking people to wear purple. Is that correct?
Did you notice what
Well, I
he's
noticed
wearing?
Bob's purple shirt today.
And what does Nancy have on?
Orange.
Orange.
For
Which is
Autumn
Autumn
Fest.
Fest, right.
Okay. So, what's the significance of the purple?
I've always loved purple.
You just have. Okay.
Our bedrooms is 5 shades of purple.
Is that true, Nancy?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Was that
So
your,
it's-
was that
It
your
was
choice?
my turn to pick. It was my turn to pick the colors of the bedroom. So when we redid the bedroom, we got purple this time,
So
and next time it's hers.
All right.
so the reason is your color is purple is your favorite, and that's why you want people to wear
Right.
purple.
All right.
Oh, okay.
So-
Glad to know that. We have to do some shopping now.
Now, both of you were part of the Autumn Fest steering committee. Nancy, you were there the longest, right?
Yes.
Would you say how many years? Do you have it all added up?
Basically, I would say around 30 years.
Around 30. Okay.
I made the infamous mistake one year after being involved with the Blackstone Valley Mothers of Twins, and the boys were much older older.
Yeah.
And I said to Lorraine Cloutier, if you ever need help with Autumn Fest,
Oh, that was the wrong thing to
please
say.
let me know.
Okay, I'll write that down right now.
In a matter of months, I got a phone call from Lorraine, and she said our secretary and her husband just resigned because they had a newborn.
All right.
Yeah.
And would you like to become our secretary? And this was in August of whichever year. I don't even.
Wow.
You
I
said
don't-
30?
And Autumn Fest is in 6 weeks.
93.
Yes.
And basically, it was
Yeah.
called Sink or Swim.
Yeah.
I guess I swam because then I stayed
That's-
involved for years.
Yeah.
And so, what other roles did you do on the Autumn Fest committee?
I started as secretary, and then because I am a physical education teacher, and I was for the Woonsocket Education Department, I started helping with the triathlon that we did for students.
Okay.
And since I knew a lot of them, it was elementary school, and a lot of the elementary kids were involved in it.
Did you tell them it was mandatory?
No, it was
No,
always
You
20
will show up.
She told them they were getting graded on.
Yeah,
it.
that's
No,
right.
I'm only
There you
kidding.
go. You all get an F if you don't show.
But I was able to connect with the elementary phys ed teachers and the middle school teachers
Yeah.
because it covered the ages of like 6 to 13 and
Okay.
14 at that time. And there was a lot of involvement because we all promoted it,
Mm-hmm.
within our classes and talked to the students. And for $1 entry fee, how can you go wrong?
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. What else did you do with Autumn Fest?
Arts and crafts, vendors,
Uh huh.
and let's see what else.
One year, didn't you do
Oh,
consumer
parade.
showcase, and then parade,
I
and then
was
buttons.
yes,
All right.
a lot.
How'd you like dealing with the arts and crafts vendors? That seems to be like one of the bigger
It's
headaches.
different, yeah. It was a whole different situation dealing with the arts and crafts vendors, and that was before everything was done. A lot of it done online,
Yeah.
so a lot of mailing, going back and forth,
Phone
phone
calls.
calls,
Yeah.
people coming in. Let's say I had to be in the park Saturday morning. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, because most were setting up. And of course, what did it do that rain?
It rained.
It rained that year. Yep. So I'm standing under a tent somewhere in the pouring rain as these people were
Trying to
checking
set
in
up. Yeah.
and trying to set up.
Hey, Bob, you
And-
did your time in the Autumn Fest
Yeah,
committee.
But and the years that she was arts and crafts, do
Yeah.
you know how many craft shows we went to so she could find other vendors? She'd give out her
Oh,
card.
yeah. Come to our show.
So we went to the Cape one
Oh,
time,
wow.
and she was passing the cards out and everything else. This would be unique at Autumn Fest.
So she's right.
Yeah,
Right.
she did. She did a good
And-
job. I'll
and
tell you.
The spots were sold out. Every
There you
spot
go.
was sold out between arts and crafts and consumers.
Well, very good.
And-
Bob, how many years did you put in on Autumn Fest?
Probably about 18.
Okay, and the last ones were as
General
grand-
chair.
General chair. So, did you want to be the general chair, or was that kind of a surprise when you were nominated and then picked?
I think I was prepared to be the general chair
Okay.
because I kept on trying. I like learning, so
All right.
I learned as much as I could about Autumn Fest.
Mhm.
I didn't do as much because they wanted me to do buttons, I was
At the same time?
No.
Oh,
When I
okay.
first started getting
Okay.
involved, they had a nickname for me.
Button Bob, right?
No.
No? All right.
Bob the Obnoxious Button Man. Because when John Gregory was the MC on stage,
Yeah.
I'd come running down on the stage with different hats on, different shirts on, and I'd scream out loud at times, I'm here, and John would go, not again, things like that. But it sold
But
the
it sold,
buttons.
sold buttons. Okay.
And John, one time, as I was starting to come up stage, and says, he yells out to the crowd, would you all please buy a button to get him off this stage?
Now,
So-
when you were general chair,
Yes.
did things happen that you couldn't imagine happening, but they did, and you had to take care of it? Does anything crazy
There's
take place?
always things that happen
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Right.
And Melissa knows this because with Dinner on the Bridge and some of the other organizations, DWC, that she's involved in, that people don't know what happens.
Mhm.
Things are not perfect.
Right.
But the average person will not realize it because we attack it, we try to correct it, we try to do it as fast and as the best we can. And every year something comes up. One year, all of a sudden, there was no water for some reason. Another year, the electrical went down. And so you fix them, you get things done, and you just move on.
Or the year that I did arts and crafts, one year, I walked into the park like 2 weeks. I mean, you're there a lot
Yeah.
over the summer trying to figure out where all the spaces are going. 2 weeks before I walked in, and I looked at him, I said, this is not going to happen. The city was renovating the park.
I remember that.
And I walked in again like a week later, and no progress really had been done. And by Wednesday, I was in tears because we had no walkway. We had no place where people could safely walk, arts and craft vendors, or even basically within the park.
Wow.
And on Friday, the city came in and put down like pebble stones. So it covered all of the ruts and all of the issues that were going on in the park. But this is like Thursday before Autumn Fest.
Yeah.
And it's nothing like walking in and just looking at it and breaking down because it was, you just think this is not going to happen. And then all of a sudden the city stepped in and it did happen.
Great.
So it is a great mutual
Mm-hmm.
thing that it's done between the city and, at the time, the state and the Autumn Fest Committee.
All right. So you'll be in the Autumn Fest parade. You'll be
will.
riding in the parade. We're working on getting your car for you. So everyone wants something a little different in their vehicle of choice. So we're working on that. So that'll be fun. After being parade chairman for so many years, Nancy, now you finally get to be in it. As opposed to driving the first golf cart or the last golf cart.
First.
First golf cart, yeah.
Basically, with 2 years, I think, as parade chairman, but I've normally been the driver of golf cart number one.
Yeah.
Because at some point, I don't know who the parade chairman was, looked at me and said, "You're the only one that can handle the politicians."
Oh.
And that was before I got involved in it, so don't think that it was because of me.
But no, it was just one of those things that, the first division, it's always been known as the city division. I mean,
Okay.
between the police and the fire and our local politicians, but it would also be the state, the governor and whatnot would come in, and that was all in Division 1.
Because they can be on and go to something else.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
When you guys were notified that you were going to be the Grand Marshals this year, can you describe how that went? Were you at a restaurant? Were you home? Yeah, tell us.
The Autumn Fest Steering Committee always likes to surprise the Grand Marshal.
Right.
When Dave Richards was Grand Marshal, he had a meeting with
The mayor.
the mayor
The mayor at the time.
and had to come out of the meeting because they said, we have to take care of this. So they called
Yep.
him out and everybody was there and,
Yeah.
and surprised Dave.
Always
on it.
nice.
Well, they did the same thing to us, and I'll let my wife go through everything that went on.
Right. We were at the Broster House, and the Woonsocket Lions Club was having their monthly meeting. And just the way we happened to be sitting, my back was to the wall. He, unfortunately, was facing the parking lot. And all of a sudden, he started seeing orange jackets showing up.
Oh.
And we did the infamous look around the room. Who is in this room that the Autumn Fest Committee is coming after? And there's a cribbage league or something going on in the back. I said, maybe it's somebody in the back. And then as we both looked around the room, our eyes connected, and it was like, oh. And then they came in, the Autumn Fest committee, the Orange Jackets all came walking into the Brewster house and surrounded our table.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like, oh, here we go.
Were you still looking around? Hey, who could it be?
At that point, no, when they
At that
surrounded
point,
our...
when they stopped just inside the door, no, we didn't. And I looked at the person next to me who had called me 2 days ahead of time and said, I'm going to be at the meeting. Are you going to be there too?
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I'm planning on it unless something comes up. I'm planning on being there.
Yeah.
So I looked at him and says, you're dead. Because he was the one that made sure I was going to be there. And I'm
Right.
like,
And I
you're
got
dead. You know?
And I got a text message of, oh, I have an announcement I need to make that night.
Yes.
It wasn't his announcement. But yeah, somebody on the committee had been in touch with them to make, where are you meeting, when are you
Sure.
meeting? Well, normally we
I'm
meet
sure.
on a Wednesday night, but
Yeah.
we've got commitments now from other people. And
Right.
they can't do a Wednesday, so we met on a Monday night. And it kind of went back and forth a couple of times with text messages. Now we know why.
Well,
Now-
even though you saw the Orange Jackets in the parking lot, you were still surprised.
Yes, because I'm thinking about, well, maybe it's Chris Fernandez or somebody else that's there that's just there.
Yeah.
That they found out was there or something. So as Nancy said, we're looking around saying, who could it be?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
It's you.
it's like, yeah.
All right. I have another question. It's okay, Joe.
Yeah.
You're a couple that has been selected. In the history of Autumn Fest that you know of, how many other couples have been
Lorraine,
selected to be?
Lorraine and Jean Cloutier.
Yeah.
And Paul and Lorraine Jacobs.
So that's it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
3.
And
3
I-
out of 44 or 5?
This is
45.
45th.
And
3 out of 45.
I still remember
Yeah.
Lorraine because we had
Yeah.
started
Yeah.
working on someone else, and she had already contacted the wife
Oh.
of that person. But we the committee held another meeting, and we said, we really have to do this for Lorraine and Jean.
Okay.
And we all agreed, type thing.
Oh, yeah. That was a
And-
good choice.
And
And this is a good choice.
we're glad we did,
Yeah.
because I think that may have been the year that Jean passed,
Yeah.
after Autumn Fest and
Right.
whatever.
Yes.
So we were very
That
thankful
was great. Yeah.
that
yeah.
we did.
That you did,
that
that you
year, right.
commemorate, that you selected him before that. Oh, that's
Right.
super.
Lorraine was furious. I
That-
mean,
that-
to say the least, she was furious.
Well, so you're in a different category, though. Only 3 out of 45 couples.
Thank you.
But that's not
Yeah.
what we do things.
I know that's not what you do, but I'm just saying that
Right.
it's a fact.
And I would-
I thank Gene
Yeah.
Cloutier because
Yeah.
he literally was my mentor.
Sure.
When I first started on the committee, he
Yeah.
would tell me little things, things
Yeah.
you need to do this, or this is how we'd have to do things and that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he would, and I think he was grooming me possibly in
course he was.
retrospect,
Maybe he was.
Of course he was.
All right, we're going to take another break here on the Coffee and Program. More coming up. Stay tuned.
Mosquito bites can make you sick from diseases like Triple E and West Nile virus. Use an EPA-approved insect repellent anytime you're outdoors. Wearing the right clothing like long pants and long sleeves also helps. Check your window screens and empty standing water. These simple steps can fight the bite, especially at dusk and dawn. Use insect repellent, cover up, and stay away from mosquitoes. Visit health.ri.gov/mosquito for information. A message from the Rhode Island Department of Health and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
Calling all classmates from Woonsocket High School class of 1978. This is Linda Senecal. We're hoping that you'll help us come and celebrate our 45th class reunion at Bella Restaurant in Burrville. It's going to be Friday, September 15th from 5 to 10, and we're looking forward to sharing all the old memories and the new memories that we can create. If you have questions or concerns or would like to come, please contact me at 401-766-3134. Hope to see you there.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer inviting you to join me for the Saturday Block Party. It's every Saturday from 4 until 7 p.m. when we fill the airwaves with the songs you want to hear. It's a party in every sense of the word, so join me live on 99.5 and 1240 a.m. or bring the show with you wherever you go at onworldwide.com.
It is Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray, the Autumn Fest co-grand marshals this year. Bob and Nancy Phillips. Romeo Bertham is joining us as well. We want to remind you the Autumn Fest kickoff party is a week from this Thursday, September 14th at Savini's, 476 Rathbun Street, to honor Bob and Nancy. Light meal will be served. There is a cash bar. There'll be DJ. There'll be dancing and lots of fun. Tickets are $35 per person, $60 per couple, table of 8. For $300, you can visit the Autumn Fest website at autumnfest.org for more information. You can also RSVP by email to special events at autumnfest.org. Please RSVP by September 4th because they need a head count.
That would be
That's
today.
today.
That would be today, wouldn't it?
Get your tickets.
I keep thinking it's August, and I don't know why. Today is September 4th.
Yeah, I know. Where did the summer go? But
Wow. All right. Well,
still here.
Autumn Fest is headed straight for us.
Yes, it is.
Lincoln is going to be there, but I will say that I've done a lot of events. I participate in a lot of events. It's an incredible amount of work. I've never been on the Autumn Fest committee. It's one committee in the city that I have never been on. I've been asked, but I won't do it. But there's so many moving parts. People just show up and it's a wonderful festival
And
and
it
they
works.
enjoy everything and they're like, oh, and they just have this great time and they don't appreciate or think about how much work it is to do it year after year after year and how many working parts. And like you said, like behind the scenes,
Right.
where you're constantly putting out little fires and sometimes big fires. And that's just, we really appreciate that. And I know how much work it is. So, it's a really big deal. It's a really big deal.
And it just comes together. Joe, you're on
Yeah.
the committee now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You may say I have a little portion of it.
I do have a little portion of it.
Right. Let's say Melissa's
no one
on
else
the
does it,
committee.
so.
She has a little portion of it.
Yeah.
Nancy's on the committee. Romeo. Everybody does their little thing.
Yep.
And do it well.
Everything does together. It was to me when I became the general chair. It was easy
Mm-hmm.
because I would go to everybody that was in charge of a certain area. I said, Joe,
How's your area?
you know how to do
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it coming along? Do you need any help? If you have any questions and you need something,
Let
me know,
Mhm.
and I'll do it. And I go to every single one, and everybody, they know how to do their job, so they do it. I don't want to get involved with Romeo's portion or Nancy's portion.
Don't micromanage it.
Yeah,
Right.
I
yeah.
don't do
And
that.
that's the way to
Yeah.
do it.
And
That's the way to
what
do
you
it.
need to do.
Everybody has their own talents.
That's
Right.
good.
And you let them.
Exactly.
Let them
You
do
let
it.
them shine. And
That's good.
the
That's
best
good
way.
leadership.
We have a good.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't
I always-
micromanage.
I always look at it like the hub of like a bicycle tire. And the hub is being Autumn Fest and all these spokes out here was somebody's job.
Yeah.
And it would amaze me come August that things were all starting to gather into the middle.
And if one of the spokes breaks, it's up to the general chair to try to get it patched
Correct.
or
But-
replaced, right?
But it's just amazing that all of these everyone's job just
Yeah.
all of a sudden
Gotcha.
comes together
Yeah.
into the hubcap, and
Sure.
here it is, it's Autumn Fest.
Yeah.
So the kickoff party, which is on the 14th, starts at 6 p.m., goes 6 to 10 p.m. at Savini's. Now, as being the co-grand marshals, have they told you, well, don't come at 6. Show up at slightly later so we can have the big hurrah when you arrive.
Maybe
Have they
7.
told you what time to show up?
Not that I know of.
No?
Wow.
Well, that'll be coming.
Yeah.
Now, talking about that party,
I
that
thought
big
you would
event, is it open to the general public? I know that I got a personal
Yes.
invitation. There were personal
Yes.
invitations that were sent out, but
Yes.
the public is also invited, right?
They can go online,
Yeah.
and
Online.
because I've had people, how
Obviously.
do I buy a ticket?
'Cause
Just
there's-
go online.
Because as you were saying, friends calling you saying, "How do I?" Yeah, exactly. So
we
people,
just lead them to the
Sure.
website, and they go
Okay.
online, go to the
Ah.
website, and they can.
yeah.
It's
I
a,
don't, can they Venmo now? Joe,
It's-
do you know?
I'm
I don't know.
not-
There's
They
a
what?
lot of different ways you
I'm
can
not in
pay
charge
for
of
things
money.
now. I know.
Actually-
a good old-fashioned check.
Actually,
Check,
well, we've had that too. I got a phone call
I
from,
got
and
one.
I'll say
I
his
saw
name,
it.
Noel Pinson's.
Yeah.
Nancy, how do I do this? So
Ah.
I basically said,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
how you can do it. He wanted to write a check. I gave him the P.O. box number
Very good. That's what I
And-
did.
Mail it in?
and mail it in.
Okay.
The lady across the street, her daughter
Yeah.
did it online.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to do it online. I wasn't successful. So I was, you know what? Take
Yeah.
out the old checkbook and mail it to the
There
PO
you go.
box. Yeah.
Did they mail you back tickets, or you just,
I didn't get any
I'm on the
response. I'm assuming
You're on
I'm
the
all
list.
set.
You're on the
Yeah,
list.
you get a
so-
list.
It's
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
a list
All
that
right.
day. You go
I'm
in
on the
and check.
list. Oh.
Yeah.
You're on the list.
Wow.
So, Bob, do you have a purple suit? What are you wearing that night?
You'll be surprised. That's it. I'm not going to let
I'll make
everything out.
Nancy laugh. Wow.
Okay.
Nancy, you gonna be okay? All right.
Oh, wait
So
till you
you'll-
see
Wait till you
this
see it. Okay. Okay.
She's letting it out.
Does my Prince shirt count? Because, right, aren't you having the beautiful ones? Right?
Purple-
It does
purple
have
rain.
I
Are you-
have a purple skirt.
Do you-
I can go all in.
There you go.
Do you have an orange suit that you're going to wear?
No, I'm,
Nancy?
well,
Huh? No? Yes?
I have bought something and
Yeah.
it's got orange and
Yeah.
purple and
All right.
everything
A
in
little
it. So
purple?
I'm covering both.
Okay.
I'm covering the
Colors.
Autumn Fest orange and the purple that my
Okay.
husband was
And
very much interested.
Mama Lorraine Cloutier,
Will she be there?
sent me a message
Yeah.
Yeah.
and said, "What do you mean, purple, Bob? Orange is Autumn Fest colors."
Yeah.
Purple
I
is
said, but
not
it's
an
my
Autumn Fest
favorite
color.
color.
And it's your
So I'm
night.
hoping she lets me
That's it.
slide on this.
I think she will. No, now this was not planned ahead of time. That we're having the Prince tribute band play on Sunday night at Autumn Fest.
Did
Are
not-
you really?
Yes, his
Yeah.
name
I
is
didn't know
Dean,
that.
Dean Ford and the Beautiful Ones. Is a
I did
Prince
not know
tribute
that.
band,
Wow. They're
and
gonna,
he'll be there on
Excited.
Sunday doing the Purple Rain soundtrack.
Wow.
You're wearing purple that night.
Awesome.
So
Did
there
you know
go.
this?
So,
Come on, tell us. You knew this, right?
What?
About this band?
Prince? No.
No.
Wow.
Not at all.
No.
I don't
No,
know
the
who's,
ent- the
I don't even
entertainment's
know who
usually is a
I don't even
closed
know who
secret.
the headliner of
And-
the parade is yet.
It's not a coincidence because
Yeah.
there are no coincidences in life. Look at behind you. Look at the
All
the
things
color
purple.
of the.
there you
isn't that
go.
something? I don't know if you did. Did you do that in Joe?
No, that's Dave's doing. But
Oh, yeah.
they're always like that.
Okay.
When you were Nancy, when you were doing the parade coordinatorship, that day of parade day, is it like herding cats down there on Diamond Hill Road? I mean, how do you get everybody lined up the way they're supposed to line up?
Well, thank goodness, for years, the people who drive the golf cart are called division marshals.
Okay.
So once the parade chair comes up with the division lineup, and whoever is leading that division is handed the printout, put them in this order, because when they get down to WOON or to WNRI, they are going to be listed in that order
Right.
to go through the parade. Now, if they're not in order,
Screws everything up.
it,
yeah.
it messes everything up at the other end. Wherever
Yeah.
they might, wherever you may be set up, you've got the parade lineup. You're expecting this band or this group to be in a certain order. You get the worst, or I think the hardest, is getting all of the school buses in and out of there.
Oh.
Because the school buses want to come in and drop off the band or drop off the group or organization that they're bringing.
Yeah.
Now line them up and get them out of there before the parade steps off.
Where do they go after they've dropped the kids off?
To the bypass.
Okay, they park there to go pick them up when the parade is done. All right, that makes sense.
They go down to the bypass and they sit and they wait for
Wait.
their band or organization to walk down to them at the end.
And leave for the day. Okay.
And they're on the way. They're already headed out of the city at that point.
Yeah. All right.
And the committee and the Autumn Fest parade chair especially, a lot of them have been doing it for so long. It seems like it's seamless.
Yeah.
You have going into the plaza, you have one road coming in, one road coming out. You put Division 1 here, Division 2 there, 3, 4, and they just
It's
step
the
off
odd
next to
even.
each other. You have a special area for all the banners. So they pick up the banners to high school students that are volunteering, because a lot of them have to do volunteer hours. So they pick up the banners, they carry the banners down, but it just seems to be, just flows well. And that's a tribute to the committee itself, because all of the committee members help out on Autumn Fest parade morning, and the chair of the parade itself.
On that morning, Nancy, how busy is it at McDonald's?
Out the door.
There's no Dunkin' Donuts down that way. There's no Starbucks, so they're like
but
the only ones.
A lot of people do stop at the Dunkin' Donuts first. They're at the
Oh,
corner of
Yeah.
Okay, they stop there
Diamond
and then
Hill
come
and
down.
yes.
Well,
and then come down.
All right.
But I
So
think-
they do
makes
that. But
sense.
McDonald's between,
It must be out the door.
well, that plus the use of the restrooms.
I was just going to
Oh,
say,
It's a
Yeah.
2-hour wait for the
Yeah.
restroom in there,
That's-
but thank goodness that the committee puts out porta johns out there to
Yep.
make sure
But
a lot
all
of-
of the participants can help.
But it seems to be a hidden whatever. Those porta johns up near Diamond Hill Road. A lot of people don't know they are
They're
there.
Wow.
And
So
we
the-
keep saying they're
Just take a short walk, right?
Yes, yes.
All right, we're running out of time here on the Coffee and program, so we want to remind you the 2023 Onifest Steering Committee has their Onifest kickoff party to honor the Grand Marshals Bob and Nancy Phillips on Thursday, September 14th at Savini's, 476 Rathbun Street in Woonsocket. Everything starts at 6 o'clock on that night of September 14th. If you haven't got your tickets, you got to get them by today. Go to the Onifest website to check that out, or email special events at onifest.org. Bob and Nancy, congratulations on being co-grand
Congratulations.
marshals.
Thank
this
you.
is a great honor for the both
Ditto.
of you, and I'm
Yeah.
sure you're very happy with this, and you're gonna have a great time. So, have a good time at the kickoff party as well,
Thank you.
in your purple suit. And Romeo, thanks for coming in today.
always a pleasure.
All right, and Melissa, thanks for coming in as well.
Thanks for having me.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have a great day, everyone. Stay tuned for At the Library with Leslie Page, then Food First with Karen Zangari. It's next on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. If you're going to South County or Newport County,